What's going on, everybody? Will with Tangible Triumph, life, inspiration, motivation. Really want to dive into the concept of the emotions that we run through on a day-to-day basis. And I want you to sit firm for a second and really think about this. One emotion can have a ladder effect on thereafter the following emotions. You can have negative and positive emotions. Now let's start with the negative emotions. Think about this scenario for a minute. A loved one dies, and said person that loved one dies is an addict. Now, if we are familiar with addiction at all in our daily lives, you know what an addict does when they encounter negative emotions. First, they feel anger, then they feel sadness, then they'll feel depression. What's an addict do when they're depressed? They go and use their drug of choice or participate in that risky behavior of choice, which has a ladder effect on the entire being in life. With that being said, those emotions strictly play off of one another. And in those types of scenarios, it's up to us to decide what we do in that current moment to change the situation given any emotion. We have to prepare for these negative times and also develop an understanding of how we can develop a form of getting through these emotions in XYZ and way. When dealing with emotions, we can allow them to bounce off of one another and create an environment where we get angry, we become destructive, and then make choices that we don't want to. Or we can take the flip side of the token and control these emotions to a point where you either don't let them get to you, and I practice stoicism. Stoicism focuses heavily on anger, and stoicism says you can prevent your anger before it ever happens. And by practicing that, you will become angry. You understand the terms in which anger arises, where you can be extremely preventive and process those emotions as they're going on and look at this setback as a way of learning and getting through it as a challenge to come out on the other side, finding the silver lining. And that brings me to a different scenario. Now, envision yourself in this one as well. Here's how positive emotions bounce off of each other. Imagine you're at work one day and your manager or boss comes up to you and says, "Hey, your numbers are through the roof this week. Good job. Congratulations, you're great." That creates happiness, which leads to excitement, which could potentially lead to an increase in your production at work. That means you can choose how you allow these emotions to inflict your life. Positive emotions will always lead to a positive outcome. Most of the time, we can get eager and make decisions that we should not have, of course. That's the extreme of every point that we make here. But you can have these emotions bounce off one another that are positive, which will create an environment that you are willing to live in, and then you can take a hold of those emotions and hang on to them for as long as possible with results that are way better than hanging on to your negative ones. Positive thinking creates a way of critical thinking, and emotions require critical thinking at all costs. When you're encountering any emotion, you need to take critical thinking seriously and try and understand why you're going through what you're going through at that moment in time. With that being said, have a great day. We'll see you Sunday. Peace.